All right, here we go. There we go. All right, welcome back to another episode. And this is Andre. And I have today with me my coach, the woman shaman of the year, spiritual healer guide, Miss Megan Thomas. Megan, how are you?
You're making me laugh. That's funny. I love it. I like it.
All right. We're just gonna have to tell Danny to call you those names.
That would improve our relationship greatly. Yes.
All right. So this is gonna be really a non-trading episode. We're gonna talk growth. I don't know. We're just gonna talk whatever the heck comes up. That's just kind of how I roll. Nothing's really scripted. So Megan, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, how you got into this spiritual journey, what drove you to get there, and yeah, let's see. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Spill the beans.
Alrighty. Well, that's a lot. That's like a 2-hour episode.
I mean,
uh,
six
well,
episodes it
first of
is.
all, yeah. Well, first of all, I am an energy healer. I use theta healing as my modality. I'm obsessed with human design, so I've brought that into my personal life, into my business. Um, I am also a parenting coach. So I love to help parents understand their children through the lens of human design so that they can have a deeper connection with their child. It helps kind of chill out the chill the household. I know it's really helped me with mine, where there was lots of things where I thought there was something wrong with my parenting, at times something wrong with my child, but really just learning about the human design and understanding that nope, this is just the way that they express themselves has been really helpful.
Nice.
My own personal journey, how it kind of all started with theta healing. The coaching piece is just how I love to hold people's hands and really walk them through life, because I really like to help people, and I kind of almost chop it up to the fact that I'm nosy, but in the most loving way. It's like I am a safe place for all of your heartfelt details. Tell me everything, but it's like it's there, it's secure, it's loving, but
Yeah.
I really like to know.
And it does help that I love to talk. So you probably know as much about me as my wife knows. It's fucking crazy. I'm not supposed to be
Yeah,
cursing. It just comes out.
hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
But I've always been into like self-development and stuff like that. Like when the internet was invented, when I was a teenager, I
I was
really
in
got
my
obsessed with
20s.
okay. I don't think you're that much older than me. No,
I
thought we
just
were the
turned
same age.
40.
Okay, you're only a few years older than me.
Yeah. Never ask a
You
woman
need
how old she is. I'm not gonna
skincare.
ask you.
Oh, I'm 36. I'm
Oh,
36.
nice. So is my wife.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, she's a couple years younger, or a couple weeks younger than me.
Nice.
Anyway, so I've always been into like what makes people tick. Like I remember just sitting there like looking at my family and being like, what kind of experience is this? I've always really been able to see into other people. And if you know
Yeah.
anything about human design, that is what a projector does, is we see into other people very, very clearly. And so I kind of have always dabbled in self-development and stuff, but it really came to a head when I got pregnant with my son. So he's my first. And I realized how unprepared I felt. And when he actually came into this world, I I just kind of hit a wall of
Mm,
like, what am I like, how am I supposed to do this? I felt unprepared, unsupported, I felt isolated, and I just kind of broke into two.
yeah.
So that's where I started seeking out deeper, more energetic type healing, because I've done the counseling, but to me it was surface because I already knew those things about myself.
Yeah. Tell me something
Like
I don't know, right?
I needed something deeper.
Yeah.
So then I found theta healing, and that really changed my life. Yeah.
Definitely. So what led you to theta healing? Did you see a sign? Was it a recommendation from someone? How did you stumble upon it?
So there is a local healer here. I had seen her for a medium reading before, but I learned that she did spiritual counseling, and I was taking some classes with her too, just learning about energetics, the spiritual side of things, and she had this like 4-part course that I was taking. So I went to her for spiritual counseling because I'm like, I need someone to tell me the deeper stuff. There's something like
Yeah.
I felt The vision I kind of had was like, I could see the other side. Like I knew where I was going, but it was like a glass wall and I could just run my finger along
Mhm.
it. And I'm like, where's the door? How do I get to the other side? Like, what is blocking me from getting to where I need to be? And so I figured, you know what, I'm going to go to an intuitive. I'm done with counselors. So I went to go see her. And as I was talking, she's like, did I ever tell you I do theta healing? And she asked my permission to go into some of the obvious traumas that I was relaying to her. And even just like not even a full session changed my
Mm,
life. Yeah.
I can tell you after the first theta healing session I had with you, I feel like I unlocked, right? Like emotionally, my mind unlocked a little bit. And I was telling my wife, like, I had never experienced joy before. Now, I don't know if
Mm,
that's because of a traumatic childhood. I don't, well, duh, right?
that is.
Duh. And just I remember the next day after the theta healing, I was getting my kids from school and the sun was hitting me. I was like, this is what joy feels like. I can't
Mm,
believe I've never felt this before. And then, the realization started coming left to right to left to right to right to left. And I was like, I was really screwed up. And again, still kind of screwed, but not as screwed up as I was like a few months ago. Oh man. So let me
we
ask
will
you,
always
go
be
ahead.
a work in progress.
Oh yeah, yeah. I message you
But
all the
maybe
time
we
about
should
my work in
explain,
progress.
maybe we should explain what theta healing actually is and what we're
Let's go
doing
for
in
it.
it.
Let's go for it.
Because it really, at least in my part of the world, it's quite unknown. So with theta healing, it's the type of energy healing that helps you zero in on the messages you received that maybe told you weren't enough or that something was wrong with you. These messages that we receive from our environment, and this could be through our core, through our childhood, through our genetics, right? This stuff
Mm-hmm.
is passed down through a lineage. But they hold us back, and they in the form of energy. So it's thick, it's negative, and it affects how we see and interact with the world. So what theta healing does is it gets to the root cause of that energy, and with that, it can be released from your body. Now, just as we release those negative energies, we can bring in the positive energy, and that helps you to support your goals. So, for example, like what for joy, you saying you've never experienced joy, think about the times where you did as a child experience joy. Did something happen after that to steal your joy, or was there just no place for it? I've had a client who had I've had actually a few clients who expressed like them being children experiencing joy playing, and then a sibling would come along and either scare them, taunt them, hurt them. So then that
Mm-hmm.
feeling of joy, that feeling of throwing yourself into play now becomes a threat. And so their ego blocks that of like, oh, I'm being creative, I'm being joyful, I have to watch my back because someone's going to come hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
No, it makes sense because I remember being a joyful little boy until I mean, we can get real until my mom started dating a murderer and literally was trying to kill us. But
Yeah.
it because I would go, my auntie is literally my angel on earth. She literally pulled me out of a closet before, like curled in a little ball inside of a closet and pulls me out. I would always go from fear to happiness. I wouldn't say joy because the joy got dumbed down. I would go from fear to happiness. And it's like, damn, do I really got to go back to this place? Right. And like also saw the effect that it had on my mother because she changed
Mm.
from that point. She went from, I don't want to throw her under the bus because she may listen to this, but she went from being this openly socially engaged woman to being, now I'm in my bubble and I am not coming out of my bubble, kind of a thing. And then she went, this is kind of funny, but it's not. She went from being abused by men to abusing men. He just totally flipped the scale. And I don't know if it's, like, okay, now I was weak, now I'm strong kind of a mentality when you're really just like blocking what you feel. But yes, you're 110% correct. Let me ask you, human design, that's made just as equal of an impact on my life as theta healing. How the heck did you stumble upon that?
Ooh, first time. Okay, so I'm a certified coach, and there is the woman who owns the coaching program. She did readings for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it did take me quite a bit to kind of get into it, because if you look at a chart, it's like a whole other language, and you're like, so she gave me my reading. It really jived with me, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, this makes sense. And then I kind of put it on a shelf for a little while, and then one of the women that I work with, she's really into human design, and she looked at my chart and she's like, oh my goodness, like, you're very open. And I'm like, well, tell me more about that. So just with us hanging out, she helped me dig into it and made it palatable for me. And then I ended up going on my own deep dive. And so I started listening to podcasts. If you're interested and you like podcasts, what's it called? Is My Aura On Straight? Is My Aura On Straight by AC Brown.
Okay.
She's amazing, and she makes everything very easy to understand. So I started listening to her obsessively, and she really helped me understand a lot of what human design is. And then I started using it in my parenting. And my biggest shift was using it to help my son potty train, because he was having
Nice.
challenges with it. Yeah. So I looked at his chart, and I started using it as a way to experiment with how to communicate and speak with him. And I was able to get him potty trained with ease, whereas the generic way of potty training wasn't working for us.
Yeah. I have a
Yeah.
feeling with this little guy over here that you could probably hit in the background. We're gonna have some challenges with that guy, but his environment is cave. So Danny goes, build him a tent, let him poop in a tent.
Yeah, that's what we
Like,
did. My son was refusing to release his pee or his poop. And so I was like, okay, how do I help you feel safe to release the pee? So I
mhm.
literally made him a tent in his closet, and I put it in there and helped him feel safe to release. And it got him used to the sensation of peeing in a potty. And from there on, things kind of progressed. And I'm not going to go into the big story about it, but uh, at least we got him pee trained that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Our daughter was harsh to potty train because she it took forever for one, and then
Mm.
once we got her potty trained, she broke her femur, and then she went back to diapers, and then we re-potty trained her. Yeah, it was literally a poop show, literally. But I mean, what can you do? But no, that's a cool story. I can tell you after our first uh meeting, I still dive really deep into human design. And it's funny because the more that I understand myself, I literally was on a Zoom session with one of the group members the other day. I'm like, you need your human design read. And I was like, I'm willing to bet you $100 that you are an emotional generator. Guess what he
Are you
is?
ready?
He's an emotional generator, because I started asking him about his how do you feel? Are you frustrated? Does that frustration lead to anger? You're like, yes.
Mm.
And what clued me into that he was a generator type is he can sit at a chart for 12 hours straight. I'm like, dude, that's not normal. But then the downside to that, his environment is shores. So
Mm.
he was super out of alignment, because now you're staring at a chart for 12 hours a day and you're neglecting something that grounds you. So I challenged him, like, go out to a shore, go out. If a beach is like 2 hours away, take your butt to the beach. Who cares?
Even just putting his computer next to the window,
I
being on a
hope he
boundary
listens to
line, but
this. Yeah.
oh, okay.
I hope
Yeah.
he listens to this. Yeah.
Okay.
Computer next to a
Like,
window.
it's about being in two places at the same time. So you're inside,
Mm.
but you're seeing outside. But also him looking at a chart, can be really helpful too, because he's all in a different reality. So it's like you're in
Mhm.
this reality, right? I'm in my body, but I'm also in your reality talking with you, who is in California. This is a shore. So these are people who get lost in books, who get lost in movies, video games.
Mhm.
But again, when it comes to electronics, there's also the EMFs and stuff like that. So he
Yeah.
probably does need to reconnect with nature, maybe sit against a tree,
Hug it.
hug a tree. Yeah. Yeah, it's that's really cool. And I think knowing your human design, no matter what you do, is really important, because that's why I brought theta healing and human design together. Because when I'm working with someone and I can see their chart, I'm able to intuit things so much
Mm,
quicker and help them see where their conditioning and their challenges may lie, but also help them realize and bring out their natural gifts,
mm.
because your chart will show you all of those things.
Nice. We'll
So
probably, you know what we should do? We should do a second episode. And you've already done it for me, but we'll do it again. You could break down my chart, tell me about myself, and so people can see what it's like. But you can
that would
send.
be really cool. Yeah, I would love to do that, and maybe even show our charts side by side, because
Yeah,
yours and mine are very different. Um, would be really cool. I'd love that.
that's awesome. I can tell you, even knowing my children's human designs is helpful. Like me being a manifesting generator and my son being a manifesting generator, I can tell you he's more on the generator side, because this kid is going, he's the road runner from Looney Tunes. That is him. And I can say, hey, son, go get me a diaper. And it's like, dude, my daughter's a manifester. I listen to a lot of Ross stuff, his older stuff, and she reminds me a lot of him, that I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap. And it's cool because how she can be very repelling, or my son is very open, like his strongest sense is touch. My daughter's like, all right, get away from me until I'm ready to talk to you. And her being
Yeah.
a manifester, we do. I told you before, I
That's just
feel
the
both.
aura type in general. A manifesting generator, their aura is very inviting. It does feel like a warm hug. They are magnetic because they are bringing in opportunities toward them.
Hmm.
Whereas the manifester, who does have, and that's a word that I really don't like to use, the repelling one, because
Hmm.
um, it sounds so negative, but
It
it's just
does.
this aura. It's a big energetic aura of like, you know, yeah, I will keep opportunities and things at bay until I have the energy to draw them in
Hmm.
and to act on them. So it's meant as I'm reserving my energy for something special.
Exactly. And I tell people, don't tell her what to do. Like she just won a
No, don't
martial
tell a
arts.
manifestor what
Oh
to do.
yeah. She just won two martial arts tournaments, one at our own personal dojo and one in right before San Francisco. And I was telling them, leave her alone. She'll figure it out. Let her cook. Like let her do her thing. The more you talk to her, the pissed off she's gonna be. But it's helped
But how
me real.
beautiful is that, that you know that and you can advocate for her in that way.
Oh yeah. And I tell her oftentimes, I know you better than you know yourself. And she looks at me like, what? Yeah, I do. Test me. Oh my goodness. So you being you were a projector, was you a two? I forgot
A 2-4.
before.
Yeah. So the profile is our life approach and our learning style.
Hmm. Do you
Mhm.
think that you're being a projector that's a 2-4, how has that helped you in your business?
Well, being a 2, it means I'm good at everything.
There you go.
Twos are naturals, and if we
Yeah.
aren't natural at something, then it's not usually meant to be in our life. But um, I have tried a variety of things, like through my working career. I've done
Yeah.
all sorts of things, and I've realized, like, I really can do anything that I set my mind to, because I things just come with ease for me.
Hmm.
So I just, when I actually sat down and thought, what am I passionate about? What do I actually really want to do with my life? I didn't have as many hangups about it, because I'm like, oh, I have evidence in my life that I can go from different career to different career, and um I'm usually really good at it. And
Oh, that's
it's
dope.
so hard. It's so hard because it sounds so cocky, and us
Uh,
Canadians like to stay humble, but
be you.
I the four is great because the four is the networker, it's the people person, right? The
Mhm.
two does have a hermit side to it. So that's the first thing that I found really validating about human design, is that I love people. Like, I truly love them. I could sit, I love going to the grocery store and just like interacting with a person here and there, or going to work and being able to sit down and connect with someone on a soul level. I really love it. But then it's also very draining. So it's like I get my energy from people, but then I also feel like I have to hide out sometimes for weeks at a time. So there's that. I always thought something was wrong with me, because
Oh
it's like
yeah,
I love people, but like I really want to be alone, and I didn't know. And it's just the 2-4 is just it's kind of a push pull. So I just need to learn to listen to my energy on when I need to hermit and when I need to be out with people.
that
And I've
makes,
kind of gone through kind of a long hermit phase lately.
and it's okay because that kind of leads me into my next question.
Yeah.
Everybody who's in business has, you have your boom and bust cycles, right? And I know you guys, uh, I know what you guys are doing right now. Knowing your human design
Mm.
and knowing that you can connect via theta healing, how do you navigate the good times where things are booming, and then I don't want to say bad times, but the challenging times where things are, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it just seems like, oh, there's a wall here. Oh, hopped over that wall. Oh, there's one here. Oh, crap, there's a mountain here. How do you
Mm.
navigate that?
So you're talking about my life right now. Oh, with all the knowledge I have, I still need support. I have
Mm-hmm.
to lean on my support. And it's when I bury myself and I hermit so hard that I won't even let anyone know that I'm not okay,
Mm-hmm.
is where I suffer. So I just need to lean into my support and remind myself that everything is temporary, but then lean into the gratitude. And that's where my kids are. And I don't put anything emotionally on them, but just they are my saviors. So if I'm feeling sad, I just sit and I watch them.
Mm-hmm.
I watch my son work so diligently on his little Legos, and I just watch his beautiful brain work and those gorgeous eyes just focusing. And I just have gratitude for this. It blows my mind, this human that I created. And then he wants to play with me, and I'm like, oh, how amazing is it that my son wants to draw me into his play? And then I've got my daughter jumping on my back behind me, smothering me with kisses. And it's just like, yes, things are challenging right now, but my life is so beautiful. Like,
Definitely.
I love those little shits so much. Just being able to look at life through their eyes
Yeah.
and see the support that they need, like, really keeps me from spiraling too much. And it anchors me to the present moment,
Mm-hmm.
because I can really focus on the past and all the things that I've done lately to kind of F up, or and be afraid of the future, of what's to come and what's going to happen to me and to my family. But I just anchor into the present moment and just know that, like, we're safe, we're fed, we've got a roof over our head, and I've got these two little beings who love and trust me so much. Like, they tell me multiple times that they love me, and it's just
Oh, yeah. It's
so
amazing,
yummy.
isn't it?
It's so
Having
yummy.
an open emotional center, I feel you right now, literally. It's pouring through the internet.
Oh, that's a
It's
hard.
pour,
Yeah,
it's
that one's a
pouring
hard
through.
one, having that emotional center. Like, and that's been something that I've been learning the last 6 months or so, is to become wise about my emotions, because
Yeah.
it's something I shoved down so hard. And when you have that emotional center undefined or open, like when it's white on your chart, you will avoid people please, anything you can do to avoid conflict, or to feel the feelings of others. You just kind of want to be a fixer, so you don't have to feel
Mm-hmm.
other people's emotions, because it's so overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No.
it's so funny. We're all emotionally undefined except my daughter. So there's just, between me, my husband, and my son, when we all get kind of like in that irritable phase and we're just like kind of like snapping at each other, I have to stop and laugh, because like I see how the three of us go round and round and round,
Mm-hmm.
and just like bite at each other. I'm like, oh my God, they can stop. So just take a step back, and I look at my son. I'm like, let's take some deep breaths, because we're getting a little bit crazy around here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Your husband trades, and I think he's gonna be a damn good one. But How have you found that his own personal human design affects him in going up and down, up and down, up and down?
Well, let's talk about more profile stuff. He is a
Let's
one.
do it.
And
Okay.
anyone who is a one, you guys can get stuck in this not knowing enough. Okay.
Why are you talking to me right now, Megan?
Oh, that's right. You're a 5-1.
Yeah.
But you get so stuck in this, I don't know enough, because you guys find safety in knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
being able to prepare yourself with knowledge. And the thing is there's always more to learn. You just got to allow yourself to play. Like, okay, I've learned this. Let me play with it. Let me experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And with him, he's a 1-4, so he is a networker. So for him, I always say, like, I don't know, I tried to understand trading, it's just
It's
not
not your
a
thing, but I think
thing.
with what you do, you can help people unlock themselves. But keep
Oh,
going.
exactly. And I don't need to know anything about trading. But with him, I'm like, I see when you talk to other people how lit up you are. You need to know enough and then to bring it to your group. You need to know enough and then teach someone what you know to help it solidify within you. Now, the hard part is him being a projector. Oh, I have to tell you something
Let's
that I
do it.
found.
Yeah.
But okay, put a pause in that.
I'll pause.
I actually haven't even told him, so hopefully he listens to the
Yeah, he
podcast and
will.
he'll know what I did. But him being a projector, he's working at a job that's like literally killing him,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't always have the energy for that. So so if you find yourself in the same position, try to find one thing that you enjoy. Don't let yourself get soul sucked into your shitty 9 to 5.
Yep.
But I accidentally put in his birth time wrong. So he was born at like 5 something in the morning, and I
Uh-huh.
put it at PM. He would have
The,
been a manifester.
so wait, he's not a projector, he's a
He's,
man.
he's a projector.
Okay,
I
okay.
went and double checked his birth time because I was almost like, that might explain some things. But if he were born just like a little bit later, he would have been a manifester.
Oh, that would have been
Yeah.
a cool household, a projector and a manifester. I
I
and
like the way they are.
yeah, my daughter is a manifester, my wife's a projector, and their interaction is really cool because I find that they balance each other out. Fun fact: if you overlay me and my wife charts, everything's defined.
Yeah. Me and Danny have 2 undefined together.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a defined throat together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we love to talk things out with each other. But our sacral is still undefined together,
Mm-hmm.
damn it. And our solar plexus is undefined together. So I've actually seen us through our relationship. I think it's going to be like 12 years we've been together this year. And through our relationship of how we've become wise about our emotions together, but individually, how
Mm-hmm.
we kind of work that out together. So that's been really, really cool. But I like that he's a projector because projectors have a very unique perspective. And that's one thing that I love about him and about us, is that we're on the same page about things.
Definitely.
He's never gaslit me. He always understands me on a deep level. And it's just, that's something that I need.
Definitely.
So I'll keep him the way he
Definitely.
is.
And I find being a manifesting generator, I need projectors around me
Mm,
because literally because I like to tell myself that I'm super detail oriented. I can be, but I know during the process I'm going to miss something that's key and I'm not going to see it. I'm going
you're
to be like,
supposed to, though. You're
I
supposed
know,
to do that.
but I'm supposed to be perfect, Megan.
Mm. Keep trying, sweetheart.
But
But you
it's
know what
also
projectors are good at doing? We're good at cheerleading. And that's what
definitely,
manifesting generators need, is they need a cheerleader.
definitely. I definitely agree. So it helps me out. And one of my friends, Michigan, he's a projector. And I lean on him to show me where I missed something. Right. I go to my wife when I need her opinion on something because there are days where I feel like a generator and there's days where I feel more like a manifestor, like leave me alone, don't talk to me. I'm totally closed off. I'm totally closed off today. Like go somewhere. But when I have this, I asked her, should I incorporate human design into what I do? I was very torn about it.
Mm.
And then I thought about the people I've helped with their chart and it's like, oh yeah, I probably should. right?
Mhm.
And I'm finding it's making a difference in people, but without having the projector there to kind of supervise, for lack of a better words, my own brain, I don't know what the hell I'd be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We're
so
really good at seeing where things can be improved.
mhm. Yeah, you guys are a blessing sometimes.
We're very much wagging the finger.
Very much so. Very much so. Okay, so what were we talking about before we took the left turn? I don't remember. We're talking about Danny
Yeah.
and
Oh, you
and
were asking about how his chart, something about his chart.
yeah, I guess we can come back to it if it comes back to the brain at some point in time.
Well, him and
Um,
his trading. Yeah, I think he needs to sink into community more.
mhm. And I told him to as I said, granted, Megan doesn't understand much about trading. Just looking at his chart, it's like you need to explain it to her. She might not get it, but
Yeah.
you will understand more about you by you talking, right? I don't know if
That
he's done
also
it yet.
him being a that's him being a split definition. He needs to talk things
Mm,
out. And I'm
hmm
his sounding board. Yeah. We definitely have a lot of electromagnetic channels together, which just mean that we plug into each other to
hmm
create a new, stronger energy, which explains why our energies were so attracted to each other when we met.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I often I tell people the story when I saw my wife for the first time. Like I wasn't in control of myself. Like my body started going over there, and I literally remember thinking, "Why the hell am I walking over here? I have no clue." And how long have we been together? 14 years. 14 years later, 3 kids, and she made the right choice.
She made
You should have seen the look
choice.
she just gave me. It was like, but
Good
yeah,
shit.
it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, see now I forgot what I was going to ask you. What are your you just made a shift recently.
Mm.
Tell me about that shift and why did you make that shift?
Oh, why? Hmm. Okay, so when I opened up my theta healing practice, so basically how that happened was I started seeing a massage therapist and she did Reiki as well. I told her that I was taking this theta healing course and she said, I have a room for you. Would you like to come work? Like, would you like to work here? And so, I was shitting my pants, but I said, yes. Like I was so scared. I was terrified. I think for the first month before my sessions, I would have to take like an anti-nauseant because I thought I was going to throw up. I was so scared.
hmm
Because I'm putting myself out there. Like it was something I love to do, but the nerves, like again, anything worthwhile will scare the shit out of you. And
Oh
I
yeah.
was so she gave me a bunch of people. She just started throwing people at me that I didn't know. And that's what helped me develop my trust in my intuition. So I needed the practice. And she gave me people I didn't know. So when they were telling me, like, oh my God, you're right, that is true, this and that, it just helped me gain my confidence. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. Every time I had a parent come and sit in front of me and say, this happened to me, and I don't want this to happen to my child. I want to be different for my child. The fire within my soul would just ignite. And I couldn't ignore it anymore. And then once I started like sifting through human design and using it on my children and seeing it, how it really helped me, as opposed to parenting in a way that I needed, I'm parenting in a way that my children need me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I just couldn't ignore that anymore. And I just want to be that support for parents because it's so isolating. It's so lonely. Our society is so, there's no community anymore,
Right. Right.
you know? And I want to bring it back. I don't know. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that, but at least if I can help parents, you know, calm themselves and just connect to their kids the way that we all want to when we think about, this
Definitely.
parent. Does that
And
make sense?
it makes a lot of sense because now that I understand specifically my son's human design, Sometimes he goes really, really fast, and I have to tell him, son, slow down. I'm not telling you to come to a complete stop sign. Just
Yeah.
slow down just a little bit. And what I've learned to do is I've learned to let him burn that sacral energy because it's strong. It's really him in particular, it's really, really strong. And he burns it out to the point to where this kid can get over 8 hours of sleep and then wake
Mm.
up, do it all over again like he never went to sleep.
But he needs to burn that sacral energy, or else he's not going to go, like, he's not going to have a restful sleep. But yeah, both of my kids are manifesting generators, and I'm so glad that I know that about them, because I don't have that energy that they do. I need to do what I need to do to be okay
Yeah.
so that I can support them.
Yeah.
So self-care and knowing myself and asking myself, like, oh, okay, like, what's up? Like, are you okay? And do the healing work on myself is even more important, right?
Gotcha.
And I
Yeah.
want parents to have that awareness of, like, hey, these things are triggering you. And that's the whole thing with the potty training journey. Like, I was going through a crisis because I thought something was wrong with me. I thought there was something wrong with my parenting. And I had to heal first my beliefs on what potty training should look like. I figured, if you're not potty trained by 3 years old, I am a failure as a human being, blah, blah, blah. Where the fuck does that come from?
Who knows? It's
No.
society.
So, and it was just control on my end too, like my feelings of control, or wanting to control him, of, his picky eating and his withholding going to the bathroom. Those are two things I can't control, is input and output. So I
Yeah.
really got I really had to I had to heal my control issues with that.
Yeah. It's hard, especially being a parent. Um,
Mm,
you said a key word that brought me to the next question, healing. Um,
mm.
I can tell you that after our last data session where you helped me see that I was the problem with my own business, um,
Not the problem, just
the
the
roadblock.
block.
The roadblock. Have you helped other people who are self-employed? And
Mm.
what is a common thing you see with someone when they're trying to get to, I don't want to say common, but what do you see when someone's trying to get to a certain level financially, and then we can get to a certain level spiritually?
Oof,
How do
that's
you
a
help
big,
them overcome that?
by helping them get to the root. So what is the struggle? So
Yeah.
is it, so for you, you wanted to help everybody, and I'm sorry, may I speak freely about
Oh,
this?
go for it. I don't care.
Okay. So what your challenge was that your worth was based on all the people you could save. And when I had you walk out that door and see all those people that were waiting for you, it was all your face. You were trying
Hmm.
to save you, because if you could save other people, then maybe you could actually save yourself.
Hmm.
Isn't that, again, people think, like, I don't consciously think that way. This is all subconscious. Everything is about ourselves. We are egocentric people.
Hmm.
So when there's when there's an issue or there's a concern, it usually can be reflected on what's going on in our own subconscious mind.
Definitely.
That was a mouthful.
Definitely. No, it's awesome because in some way, shape, or form, I knew that, but at the same time, I didn't know how to get there.
I would say that a lot of the root causes have to do with our feelings of safety.
Hmm.
So is there something, how do I put this?
Put it
It's either a
bluntly.
love issue, or you trying to gain love in
Hmm.
some sort of way, like the love of others will finally prove I'm worthy, or the safety of, like, oh, if I can control this aspect of my life, I will finally be safe, when really the only thing we can control is ourselves and our reactions to things. But I would say when it comes down to love and safety, those are some of the biggest keys I see in any problem.
Definitely. So let's connect data healing and human design really quick. I'm a 5/1. Um, how do you think? Oh, this is going to be cool. How do you think that helped me process my traumas? And how do you think it either, well, let's go both. How do you think it helped me with my trauma or hurt me? I'm just gonna write these down. Let's start with this one. How do you think it, being a 5/1, how do you think it helped me?
I think your endless curiosity, so the one being curious, I think
Mm-hmm.
that helps you and is your greatest advantage because the one gets you down those rabbit holes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The five is challenging. The five is, the super healer, the hero. Not to,
Did you
feed your
see the
ego so
Superman
much.
thing right up there?
Yes, such a
Have you ever seen the Superman coffee mug in the videos and the Superman t-shirts?
no,
Oh yeah,
no,
ask Danny about that.
I won't. But there is that innate, like, I need to save everybody else. The five is meant to heal themselves so that they can heal
Mm.
other people. So if you go down the self-awareness rabbit hole with your one, you learn, mindfulness, self-awareness, and then you finally see in your five where other people are triggering you because there's something within you that needs
Mhm.
healing, right?
Definitely true.
So I feel like as challenging as that profile can be, it's probably been your best ally and why you are here today talking about what you're talking about.
Definitely. Okay, so
You
how
like
does
that?
I love it actually. I'm a Leo, it's stroking the ego. Now
Oh my God.
now let's punch the ego a little bit. How does it hurt me being a 5-1? Hurt's
Because you're
probably
trying
enough
to
to
save
hold me
everybody.
back. Hold me back. Yeah.
No, we'll talk about let's hurt you.
Okay, let's hurt it. Fuck it. Let's go.
The five is challenging because you're if in its shadow, like in its low vibrational form, if there's someone in your life you can't save,
Oh, I
you
hate
can
it.
go down a wormhole of trying to
Yeah.
save that, of trying to find that worth, or the universe is always sending us tests. So if they send you someone that isn't meant for you to save, or that just is choosing not to be saved, um if you aren't able to let go of that, you can create quite a bit of drama for yourself. But if you can be in the high vibe of the five and you can be like, okay, yes, I'm going to be actively healing myself. And if someone crosses my path that is in alignment for me to help out, I'm going to help them as long as they want it. Once
Mm,
they don't want it, I release.
yeah,
They're
I've
going to
been
come
doing,
to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at that actually, especially since our talk, because
Yeah.
one thing I was doing, because I don't just take anyone into my group. I talk to them like how we're talking right now, and I decide, okay, if I like you, you're in. If not, cool. But then if I like them and want them in, I tell them, hey, I can't fix your problems. You have to fix
Mm-hmm.
your problems. I can just give you information. And I always said that, but I never believed it until our last session.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How
Yeah.
does my profile push me forward?
The one is always learning, always wanting more information, always wanting to evolve. The five is how that pushes you forward. There's so much learning that comes with the five. I think they work actually really nice hand in hand, because with the one always wanting to learn, the five is always learning through their interactions with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they actually work very nice together. I wonder if that's true.
It is. I remember again during my
Some profiles are combative and some are in a line,
oh
like work very well together. Well, mine's a combative one. Mine's a
really
2-4. Yeah, because it wants to be
uh,
alone, but it wants to be with people. So I have to toe the line and really find balance.
would you call yeah would you say it's a balanced profile rather than combative, or would you just keep it at
No, it's
combative?
combative.
Okay, I like it. Let's go. It's combative.
It's kind of a push pull together. Yours, I think, I don't remember them all off the top of my head, but yours, I think, is one that works in like well together.
Yeah.
Get the word you used.
Does your profile, then does that cause internal struggle for you?
Yeah, if when I'm not listening to myself,
Mm, okay.
when I'm not listening to myself, my body will come down with, I get migraines are my biggest one. So when I start feeling a migraine
Mm,
come on, it's like, oh, where have I been ignoring myself? Where is my life out of balance? Where have I so yeah, if I'm not actively paying attention to myself and finding balance,
hmm.
yeah. Yeah.
Random
Yeah.
question.
Sure.
If you could save the world using one thing, what would it be?
Like out of the things that I do,
or
I
do
think
or
human
no?
design is key. I think
Yeah,
human design is key because we all know that we're individuals. We know that we're not meant to be the same, yet as we're growing up, we are pushed into the same box. Society has this box of like, this is what's acceptable.
yeah,
Please fit in here. And our parents, like nobody wants their kid to be the weirdo. Nobody wants their child to be ostracized. So the parents
yeah.
with some have bad intentions, some have good intentions of like, I just want you to fit in. So they push and deny our realities as opposed to honoring who we are individually, honoring our inner knowing.
Hmm.
I feel like we need to come back as a society and teach and just know within ourselves that children are brilliant, that they're meant to be honored and to be respected, and that they are here to teach us. If we could have that as just a fundamental like knowledge, and we started treating and acting that way, like that our children are here to teach us, wow, I think we'd be a lot more wise than we are.
Definitely. If the world was the same, there'd be nothing to learn from anyone, and
Exactly.
it would just
Exactly.
kind of suck.
But if we
Um,
all knew our human
mm,
design and we knew and we could trust our inner knowing, um oof,
Human design gets a bad rap, and I'm gonna get your
really?
thoughts on this. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I'm the one. Here we go. um, it gets a bad rap. People call it new age spirituality and all this other stuff. Oh, you shouldn't see a human design reader, blah blah blah. It's deconditioning. So my son's trying to crawl and he just bit it. No, it's not funny, but it's funny, but it's not.
Aw.
Um, I think it's literally deconditioning us, and it doesn't take away from whatever you believe in. It just supposed it's to me it should just enhance it. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely it is a way to enhance, but if we are all to honor and love ourselves for who we are individually, and we are all recognizing the power we have within, how many systems fall?
All of
We
them?
want to keep exactly. I don't want to blame religion, but a lot of things were made evil that aren't evil. But
Correct.
I just feel like for the people upstairs, the big
Mm-hmm.
powers that be want us to be the same. They want us to be sheep because you can herd a bunch of sheep around for whatever gain there is to have. But if
Yes,
we were all a shepherd, leading our own way and building community and just knowing the power we have to heal ourselves, there isn't a need for a lot of the shit that we buy into.
I agree. I feel like I was listening to a talk by Raw, and something clicked. He said that a lot of the and again, I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of am,
Mhm.
that a lot of the higher ups are manifestors and projectors, and they make everyone operate in a generator's aura type. And I see that a lot. I see it with, let's throw Danny under the bus. Sorry, Danny. I see it with Danny. He's operating as a generator when I think he should probably more or less embrace the projectorness and take what I call a projector nap every now and then. Um, what are your
That's not
thoughts?
the world he lives in, though.
I
Like that's not
know, I
the
know it
type of
sucks. It
job he
pisses me
has.
off.
Yeah.
Pisses me off. But yeah, I feel like too many people are running around acting, and again, not to
But
any
that
fault
was
of
me
them.
too, and that's why I made this shift to what I'm doing. Because I wondered why when I was working at like a act like a real job in quotes, is that I was constantly burning out. And I thought, again, something was wrong with me because I'm like, everybody else is doing the same job I'm doing. Why is it me that is falling ill, that is
Mm,
sick, that is tired, that when I leave work, I can't even do anything that I enjoy because I can't move?
yeah,
So that was, and learning that I was a projector was just so validating to know that, okay, I've just been working against my own energy and that I can honor it by, um, like projectors can do a lot of things, but what we can do in 3 hours is what takes some people 8 hours.
yes, yes. Now
So I
that's
would
the
be done before noon at my job and be like, okay, so what? I'm just going to sit here and distract
nap
everybody.
time.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that leads me to my next question. Being a projector and an entrepreneur, the stigma around an entrepreneur is you have to work, 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 work. I don't believe it, but how has
Oh.
being a projector helped you?
Well, knowing that, I don't know, this is such a hard question because like my struggle is being seen. Like
Uh,
I love what I do, but I need people to buy into what I do. I need people to to want that support.
I'm making
So
faces at the baby.
yeah. So having that's my biggest struggle is the marketing piece.
Yeah,
Uh that but I just I need to stop like seeing it as marketing, and like that's why I like my Instagram page, because I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to shine my lighthouse, I'm going to pour out my wisdom, and whoever is for me will find me through Instagram, will find me through the work that I do here in the city, in my city, and just trust that those who need what I have or that would be serviced by my by what I do will find me, and just have
definitely.
like, I don't know, it's such a challenge because I feel like, oh, there's more I could be doing, but my energy just won't allow for it. It's just like I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Burnout is harsh.
Yeah.
Because I just dealt with that literally like what was it, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um, give me your thoughts on me burning out.
Um, well, what I had said to you is like you were doing everything that you were still like you were doing before, you just added a baby to the mix. Which was like quadrupling your workload. And you
Yeah.
didn't make any shifts, you didn't make any change, and you expected yourself to keep going when it's like, you're running on less sleep, you are running on less brain power, like you just weren't giving yourself compassion and grace.
Mm,
You had way too high expectations for the workload that you had.
yeah, and myself for sure.
Mhm.
What would you give to there's a couple people probably who listen to this podcast who know their human design. What advice would you give to a generator or a manifesting generator about burnout and how to avoid it and how to know when it's coming on?
So you guys will burn out differently. You're going to enter what's called a functional burnout, which means you still have that, you can still function, you can still do your day to day, but things are less sparkly.
Mm-hmm.
Things just feel more cumbersome. You
Mm-hmm.
know, your lust for life is gone, and that's
Mm-hmm.
your burnout. But you can still do the things because it just feels a little bit like it's taking more energy.
It feels like it's
So
in the
you just
backpack.
need to, yeah, exactly. You need to sit, take an audit of your life, and see where you're saying yes to things that should be no's.
Definitely, I've
Now,
gotten more
there,
more comfortable with that. No.
yeah. You have to, boundaries are so important. And boundaries doesn't mean that you need to sit down with every single person in your life and now express that between the hours of this and this, you cannot contact me. It doesn't need to be like that. It could be all internal of like, okay, after a certain time, I won't be answering phone calls, or I'm going to choose one day a week where I don't make commitments. So maybe it's a Sunday, you have your regular job and you say, no, on Sunday, I won't have commitments. I will not be going to a family dinner. I will not, I don't even want to meet with friends. This is my me day. And that could be a boundary that you set with yourself. So when someone says, oh, Sunday, we're going to be doing this barbecue, whatever, you could just say, oh, no, thank you. I'm not available that day. That's a
Definitely.
boundary, right?
Mhm. Definitely. So I have a question just popped up into my head about social media. You see a lot of stuff on social media talking about, oh, you're living out of your lower vibrational chakra, the root, you can't live out of the root chakra, oh, the sacral chakra is bad. I've learned human design. I don't believe any of that crap. What's your thoughts on this new age social media spirituality? Where does it go wrong?
Um, you know, there's so much information out there. I think this is where coming back to your human design is huge, and why I think everybody should know about it is what you need to sink into what you know. So I
Hmm.
can read shit all day long. I follow so many different like new age accounts, and I'll read something and be like, oh, that lands. Oh, okay, this speaks to me. This is true for me, where it may
Hmm.
be bullshit for someone else. ask yourself, just because someone has written it and put it in a pretty Canva file doesn't mean that it's truth, and it doesn't mean that it's true for you.
Hmm.
Turn it back on yourself. If there's something that triggers you, oh, what is that triggering in me? Why don't I like that? Why isn't that jiving with me? Pay attention to your emotions. And now if that is triggering to you, just remember, we weren't taught to honor our emotions as children. We were told to shut up, go to our room, and come back when we can behave, right? So again, knowing your human design and starting to develop a relationship with your emotions, because they're going to tell you what is right for you, what's in alignment for you. So they're not something to be ignored or shut down. They're meant to be listened to. So I would just say you need to sink in to what is true for you. Take that, save it, or just keep scrolling if you feel it's not true. But just
For
because
sure.
someone puts it in a pretty file doesn't mean that it holds truth.
Yeah. I saw a super funny one. It's kind of vulgar, but it just fuck it was sad. It was a quote that said, "Bitches be tripping," and under it said Harriet Tubman. It was hilarious. It's just it's just people just the internet. Internet is great and it's also horrible at the same time. But yeah.
You just got to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it
Like,
was just
and
hilarious.
if it's getting to be too much, and if scrolling is just irritating you, you have to put the phone away for a while. Like, you
Definitely.
just got to be in tune with yourself and what you need.
Definitely. Uh one more or maybe two more questions. Um a big thing with me was not feeling seen and not feeling heard. How much of that do
Not
you
just
see
you,
in,
honey.
I know, I was going to say, how much do you see of that in your clients? And it actually I think it actually drove me to get to the level of trader that I am. It's like,
Mhm.
though the 5-1 wants to help and wants to shine, it also wants to be left alone. It wants privacy, right? That's my thing. Those base those base negative beliefs, how do you see that they affect people in a good way and in a bad way?
All a child wants is to be seen, heard, and loved for who they are. Okay. And if they don't feel those things for who they are, they will change who they are in order to be seen, to be
Mm-hmm.
heard, to be loved. So when I work with someone, those are some of the foundational things that I check, right?
Yeah,
Because so
first thing
many
you checked
people
on me.
didn't see, but that's the way that previous generations have treated children, be seen and not heard.
Yeah,
Right. So what happens when a child is excited and they're like, mommy, 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 look what I made, and be like, and they're shoved off. You know what I mean? Like, that is so damaging to a child's soul.
definitely.
So we're going to go through our life, our adult life, like, I'm going to do anything I can to be seen and heard. Since my mom and dad didn't, I have to find my worth somewhere. Oh,
Definitely.
it's so huge in
Yeah.
my class.
And
Yeah.
it leads to unnecessary competition between siblings, between other people. So
Mhm.
definitely unnecessary because your better can be better than
Well,
someone
it
else's
creates
better.
maladaptive behaviors too.
Yes, yes.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
like, why am I slaving away at this job that doesn't give a shit whether I'm here or not? Because if my boss doesn't see me, then, it's just that inner child trying to get that authoritative figure to see them and love them. So I'm going to work and I'm never going to take a sick day because I need my boss to see me. I need to be loved. I need to be honored, when really your boss doesn't give a shit.
You're replaceable.
Exactly.
Yeah. One more. I do have one more question. And again, you can probably attest to this to my human design. I don't like being told what to do. The last stable job I had, when I was literally the best salesperson they ever had, broke every single sales record in the company. And my boss, who had never sold anything a day in his life, was trying to tell me what to do. And I just
Yeah,
wasn't having it. So, uh-oh, I went all cloudy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
Hmm.
hear me?
All right, I'll just keep going. So my boss was just a dick. And when they fired me, I was like, "Oh, you guys are firing me?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're letting you go." Cool, I can let this out. Hey, Ben, you're a dick. Anyone who goes into my chair is going to be screwed up because guess what? You're going to screw them up. I went off. Pretty much, I
Mm.
am no longer allowed uh, on their campus, on their anything anymore. Like, I can't I just can't. How much of that is in my human design?
Ooh, okay. So I don't have your chart in front of
Megan,
me,
give
but
me
I
one
would,
sec. I
I
have to
would,
change my speaker. That's my
okay.
headphones died. That's what it was. Hold on one sec.
Mm,
Testing. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Can
Oh,
you hear
hold
me?
on. Or is it? It's this one. Hold on. Speaker. There we go. Cool. There we go. I got it. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. All right. So there we go. Now I'm ready for you.
Oh, so I would actually want to look at your center as well. I was waiting for you. I should have pulled up your chart super fast,
It's
but
okay.
how
I
much
can
of that
actually
is
share
in
my
your
screen if you
human
want.
design? Ooh, can you? That
Yeah, I
would be really
can.
cool.
I signed up for that the website you told me to. There.
Um,
Let's go. Share screen. Screen numero here.
the
There we go.
manifesting generator in general really likes to do its own thing. Okay.
Wait, is that me? Yeah, that's my
Okay.
chart. Hmm.
Um, so you speaking out of instinct here. So where your throat here goes into your sacral.
Hmm.
You were yeah, you were just definitely speaking out of your instinct, so out of from your gut of like, you guys are effed up, you can't see this, so you just kind of unleashed in that moment. But this where your heart center is, yeah, no, that's not, that's your identity. So the
Oh,
little
here.
triangle, the heart, so that is your worth.
Mm,
Okay. This is where we feel the need to prove ourselves. And you did everything you could. Like, you broke sales records and these fuckers still didn't see you. Better believe that that throat center is going to unleash hell on everybody.
it did. It was bad. They sent the
It did,
company-wide
because you
email.
realized that there was something out of alignment there. So yeah, I would say that undefined heart there really got triggered, and you're just like, screw you, mom, I don't want to play anymore.
Oh yeah, I went all the way off. I called my wife and I felt so good. I was like, well, I got fired and I feel great.
Good.
It was the best firing of all time. Um,
Yeah.
I think we'll end it here. Where can people find you on social media?
Ooh, I am at the Conscious Village. So you
Hmm.
can go there. I love to talk about all things healing. And if you are a parent, I've kind of shifted a lot of my stuff into speaking to parents and families. But you can go there, or you could go to theconsciousvillage.ca and see what services I have if you're interested in theta healing, or even if you want to chat with me and see what the best service is for you, you can book a discovery call there and we could just see what's going on in your life and how I can help you, because oh my God, I love to help people. I love it. I love it.
Definitely, it's your calling, whether you love it or want to hear it or not. It's definitely your calling. You've ever since that our last session, and I've the wall's broken and it
I
feels
love it.
great. It feels
I
great.
love it.
Thank you for
Yeah.
everything you do. Maybe we're gonna film another one where we can go over human design charts and just
Can
so
I
people,
just
yeah,
I just want to say one more thing,
let's
that
do it.
you don't need to know what you want to work on. I have people come in with a list of 15 things, and I have people come in who don't know what they need to work on, and I can help you either way.
Oh yeah, I literally told you that. I don't know.
Yeah, you did. And then I was like, oh, that's my favorite thing to do. I'm like, I'll tell you what your problem is.
Oh yeah, you did. You definitely slapped me in the
No, I'm
face.
just kidding, in the most loving way. But you don't need to know. You just need to be like, no, there's something I need changing in my life, and we'll go from there.
Definitely. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. You guys give Megan a follow. And if you have any questions, message her about her, not me. Appreciate it. Thank you, Megan. And now I gotta find the stop and record button.